Make the call, save lives.
Twisted.
We're going to talk about this human trafficking and truckers against trafficking. So I picked up this little flyer the other day at work. They have them at work, and it has some great information on it. And I don't want to mess this information up, so I'm just going to read this card. So, human trafficking is the modern day slavery. Traffickings use force, fraud, and coercion to control their victims. A minor being sold for sex is a victim of human trafficking, as is any adult under pimp control. While the initial purchase of the victim may occur online, the real-time sale of the victim can happen in many locations, including truck stops, restaurants, rest areas, hotels, motels, strip clubs, private homes, etc. Truckers are the eyes and the ears of the national highways. We suspect someone could be a victim of human trafficking. Number one, call 911. If you're seeing the crime in progress, so it sends me to the back of the card right there, but I'm going to keep going because, if you see a crime in progress, call 911 first thing. Number two, call the hotline to assure if the witnesses human trafficking to the access service, make a report and share the incident that have been reported to law enforcement. So after you call 911, make sure you call the hotline to let them know. Number three is provide support based on the comfort level. A, tell the management of the location what you've seen. B, ask the victim if you can help and assess how. And, that's a real tricky situation right there, because if you're going to make contact with the person, you're kind of putting yourself at risk of somebody seeing it. So make sure you're being smart with it and careful. Don't be like the hero that's all like, I'm going to grab you and put you in my truck and take you to law enforcement. There's people watching these people. It's better to get law enforcement involved, especially, in a bad situation. And then it has these questions to ask. Do you keep your own money? If not, who does? Do your parents, siblings, or relatives know where you're at? If not, why? When was the last time you saw your family? Is anyone hurting you? Are you or your family threatened? How? Can you come and go as you please? Trafficking red flags to look for. Lack of knowledge of their whereabouts. Not in control of their ID or passport. Restricted or controlling communications, not allowed to speak to self. Being watched or followed. So they're not able to talk because they're being watched or followed. Any mentionings of making quotas or having pimp daddies. Signs of branding or tattooings of traffickers' names often on their neck. So I guess they brand people. That's crazy. A van or RV or vehicle with multiple women and mainly male area, or dropping a woman off or picking them up 15 to 20 minutes later, and signs of bruising. And then it says, warning, please do not approach the trafficking. Allow law enforcement to deal with traffickers and the recovery victim. Approaching traffickers is not only dangerous for you and the victim, but also could lead to problems in the eventual process of the trafficking. Then here's whenever it says call. This is talking about the part whenever it says call 911. So when calling law enforcement, in order to open an investigation, your tips need to be a question. Accompanied information would include description of the car, truck, make, model, license plate, truck / or DOT number, etc. And people, height, weight, hair color, eye color, age, etc. Take a picture if you can. Then the times and dates when the event in question took place and what day was it. The address and locations where the suspect's activity took place when contacting law enforcement. Tell them, and like it's bold on here, like tell them you suspect human trafficking. So just don't call up the police and say, oh, there's a prostitute out here. Say there might be human trafficking out here. You need to come and check this out. You know, and they got these cards laying around at the terminals and stuff. Prime has a big push in the fight against human trafficking. It's a serious problem. You don't know if somebody's been taken away from their family, if they've been kidnapped, if they kidnapped them and their family member to use each other against them. Just remember that at the end of the day, that is somebody's wife, that's somebody's sister, that's somebody's, you know, aunt, whatever the case may be, mother, whatever. I put the phone numbers, they're scrolling down at the bottom of the screen where you can utilize to get people help. But don't just turn your head out there, guys, and see like, oh man, there's a prostitute out there in the truck stop, or the also known as there's a lot lizard out there. That might be somebody that needs some help. You should always report it to your local law enforcement and try to make sure that, you know, you did your part. And like I said, don't approach them. And like this says, don't approach them. Don't try to be the hero. Be a hero in the other way by reporting it and hopefully helping somebody out. And like I've seen cases of like a little teenage girl that got picked up, and she was working in a truck stop because there's a lot of men in truck stops. So they put her to work there. She had to do what she had to do because they had her sister, and they were all like, if you don't do what we tell you to do, we're gonna hurt your sister, we're gonna kill her, or whatever. And you know, they finally got caught, but that was a teenage girl in a truck stop. And you know, it's a serious crime out there, and it's sad that we even have to have trucking against trafficking. You know, it's sad that the world has become such a bad place now, that they're grabbing up kids and women and forcing them into this. And, you know, it's not a good deal. But like, I just wanted y'all to be aware about human trafficking and do your part and report it, definitely. And like I said, stop by the terminal, pick up one of these little cards right here. You can keep it in your wallet. That way, if you ever need to look back at it and call these hotline numbers, you have them. Guys, report it, because that's somebody's family member out there. You wouldn't like it if it was your sister or your mother or, you know, your cousin, whatever. You wouldn't like it. So just remember that that is somebody's family member. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching this video.
Next video right there. Also, if you want to check out some playlists I have right there. Don't forget Thursday night lives, 7 p.m. Central Time. You can come ask your own questions and answers and get all the information you want.